Buenos días y bienvenidos a todos. Good morning and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated for providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and password, or check our website, www.cslpv.org, on the weekly talk section. Today is Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. We are continuing our annual theme, Open at the Top, and the topic for this month of February, Embracing the Edge. Today, our topic is On the Edge of the Possible. As I hear more sirens this morning, I woke up to dark skies, thinking it was an incoming storm. However, it's a different storm. There have been many fires started all over the city in buses and cars, blocking major highways throughout the area. So please pray with me for safety for all the people in this area. So once again, I'd like to truly welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center here in Vallarta, whether you are on the live Zoom call or watching the replay at a later time. We teach a philosophy and honor all faith traditions. So whatever path you are on, know that it is the right one for you, no matter what your background is. Here we teach a philosophy called the science of mind, based on new thought and ancient wisdom, where we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth, and we honor diversity in all aspects. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he'd studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the science of mind, which focuses on the individual use of thoughts and this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the teaching, Holmes replied, "It is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations." So each week we offer a service with an inspirational message. We offer the Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. and meet Sundays at noon. However, today's in-person meeting has been canceled due to the situation, and I will update you through the week regarding next Sunday, whether we meet in person or not. So after each service, whether it's online or in person, please hang out with us afterwards so we can enjoy great conversations with like-minded people and share some coffee amongst our community. So let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So today, I will be reading from the Creative Thought magazine from February 2014. And as you may know, spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer is always done in the first person. So I invite you to gently close your eyes if you so choose, and join me in these words. I recognize one infinite intelligence, one mind, as the thinker behind all creation. This God mind expresses in an orderly way and creates a life that is always in perfect balance and harmony. I am a creation of this one mind, and as such, I live harmoniously with all creation. Knowing that there is a divine order to life, I see order in my life as God guides and directs all of my affairs. What appears as chaos or confusion is simply a stage in the process of becoming something better. Witnessing this change, I anticipate the best. I know that I am centered in God's goodness and centered in God's good, orderly direction. Wherever I look, I see order. I see it in my health as I see God's perfection as my own. I see it in my finances as I see God's abundance as my own. And I see it in my relationships as I see God's love for its creation as my own love for all. Everything is in perfect balance, and in this knowingness, I am at peace. With gratitude that my existence is always in God, I am certain all is well. Releasing my word to law, I know that life expresses itself harmoniously, and so it is. Words that give me comfort today and moving forward. That was originally submitted by Reverend Ruth Ann Banner from Palm Desert, California. And now I'd like to share a quote from the Science of Mind. The pent-up energy of life and the possibility of further human evolution work through man's imagination and will. The time is now. The place is where we are. So Ernest Holmes, from his talk at the dedication of the Church of Whittier, California, in February 1959, wrote this: "We have not yet done what I believe we should do with our membership. We have yet to see what the multiple consciousness of a church body can do if the members are properly trained, if they permit someone to exercise authority over them, not over their theology, not over their private lives, but over one thing only, their spiritual concepts. There is a law of good. There is a power in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. And it will multiply its effects 1,000 times through the united consciousness of a group." So standing at the edge of possibility asks us to lean beyond what we think we know and dare to envision what could be. Both Howard Thurman and Ernest Holmes invite us to lift our sight from small, temporary fixes and see the large view, a faith wide enough to hold and transform the world. Science of Mind teaches that there is a power greater than we are, a law of good that responds to our thoughts. When we align our collective consciousness with that vision, we multiply our impact exponentially. This week's theme reminds us that the edge isn't just a metaphysical cliff, it's the threshold where faith meets action, where imagination meets the law, and where we step boldly into a larger idea of who we are and what we can create together. In the book, The Wisdom of Not Knowing, Discovering a Life of Wonder by Embracing Uncertainty, Estelle Frankel wrote this: One of the essential tools of faith is imagination. Every journey into the unknown requires imagination, the ability to see things that are not yet visible or manifest. In The Inward Journey, Howard Thurman wrote, "Of the great number of people who feel outraged over what seems to be a terrible miscarriage of justice, how many do something concrete about it? All the energy is exhausted in such remarks. How awful! What a tragedy! Something ought to be done. What a shame." Our emotional reaction to situations causes us to adopt measures that bring quick and temporary relief from the immediate pressure on us, but they don't have much effect on the situations themselves. Somehow, we must find that which is big enough to absolve us from ineffective messages and methods for increasing welfare and well-being. This means the large view, the great faith, which will release the vast courage. So we live in a time of outrage fatigue, where we react quickly to injustice, but rarely move into transformative action. What would it look like if, instead of exhausting ourselves with temporary relief, we cultivated a larger faith that demanded that we take real, creative steps? We can begin to see ourselves as catalysts, asking not just what's wrong, but what's next. In The Science of Mind, Holmes wrote this: "We must relight the torch of our imagination by fire caught from heaven. We must remain faithful to this vision for a realization of the presence of God in the secret power of our work." So Ernest Holmes' words remind us that we haven't yet tapped the true power of collective consciousness. What might happen if we aligned, not in dogma, but in vision, around the shared belief that good is possible and available? Together, we can become a multiplying force for love, justice, and possibility. Studies of the astronauts conducted by NASA show that in microgravity, the brain shifts slightly and fluids redistribute, easing that constant pull of gravity and potentially improving cerebral spinal fluid circulation. While we can't recreate microgravity on Earth, activities such as yoga, swimming, breath work, aerobic exercise, and meditation can affect blood flow that may support brain circulation, flexibility, and resilience over time. Meditation has been shown to alter neural connectivity, reduce stress-related inflammation, and support neuroplasticity over time. And these findings reinforce a core new thought teaching. Mind is primary, and the body is its instrument. Charles Fillmore wrote that mind is the only creative power, and it works through the body as an instrument. While Eric Butterworth clarified, the brain is not the mind, it is the instrument of the mind. The brain responds to movement, posture, breath, and environment, while mind, as Ernest Holmes taught, is the organizing intelligence expressing through that system, shaping habits and directing attention and giving meaning to experience. Holmes said, "The mind is the directive force. The body is the instrument through which it acts." And here's another quote from Estelle Frankel. All freedom journey require an open mind, a mind that is not conditioned by past knowledge and experience, but open to possibility. Unless one is capable of imagining another possibility, one cannot free oneself from bondage. The edge of possibility and the edge of the possible is not comfortable. It stretches us beyond our habits, fears, and assumptions. Are we willing to be stretched? Are we willing to imagine something bigger than our personal comfort? Something that might require courage, creativity, and spiritual audacity. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said, "Our duty as men and women is to proceed as though limits to our abilities do not exist. Where brain and mind meet is an expression. Changes in awareness and intention influence brain function, just as changes in the body influence clarity of thought and emotional balance. Neuroscience describes this as plasticity. New thought understands it as a natural cooperation between consciousness and form. Caring for the brain through varied movement and mindful habits keeps the instrument responsive, while cultivating awareness determines how fully that instrument can serve clear thought, perception, and spiritual expression." Thomas Troward said this: "The action of mind plants that nucleus which, if allowed to grow undisturbed, will eventually attract to itself all conditions necessary for its manifestation." So, as a spiritual community, we're not just here to be comforted by possibility, we are here to create it. When we stand at the edge, we don't peer into the void, we peer into infinite potential. Science of Mind reminds us that there is a power greater than we are, and we can use it, not just for personal healing or prosperity, but for the awakening of a world that works for all. Together, we step boldly toward that edge, not to fall, but to fly. So this week, challenge yourself to live from the edge of possibility. Each day, ask yourself, what would I do today if I really believed anything was possible? Live as if the law of mind is listening, because it is. And I'll leave you with this quote from Viktor Frankl. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And that brings us to our affirmation for this week. I am a co-creator of a world not yet imagined. So now for news and updates at our center. We are meeting in person at the Living Room Bookstore and Cafe in Cinco de Diciembre. However, not today. The location is updated on our website. And if you are interested in learning more about the science of mind teaching, we offer courses via Zoom as well as in person. So connect with me or check our website to find out details. There's also a survey for your input for upcoming courses that you would be interested. So please check that so that we can find dates for those. And if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for a spiritual mind treatment, please contact me to arrange a time for this. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, as membership does renew annually, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, please contact me and I'll send you the current forms. And please stay tuned for updates on the upcoming annual general meeting, I believe in April. And I'd also like to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. And let me know if you would like to receive our weekly posts on Substack. So now it's time for mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. We bless the financial gifts that you give today. Every donation is greatly appreciated. Donations can be made using PayPal or Tithely through our website, www.cslpv.org. And yes, we do still accept cash. Although if you wish to write out a paper check, you can do so by addressing it to CSLPV number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y 8N1. And now please join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. Today, more than ever, we need to stand for peace. So hug your friends, your loved ones, and your neighbors. May peace and love be with all of you. Blessings to all. Namaste.